Yeah, not that one. I want the literal when they were told to flee and what they had to grab. That's the one I want. It's somewhere around there. It's before they got across the river though. Like right when Pharaoh woke up and he saw everybody dead, that's where I'm talking about. Right around that part. When he saw the firstborn male of everything dead, yeah, right around there. That's the one I want. What time is it? It's rock. All right, let's try to get one or two more questions. Any questions online? Let's finish this out. All right.
So like this might be it if I could. So it's Exodus 12 or 31 through 32.
Okay.
And he called for Moses and Aaron by night and said, Rise up and get you forth from among my people, both ye and the children of Israel, and go serve the Lord as ye have said.
That's right.
Also take
This is
flocks.
after Pharaoh realized that his son was dead. This is after not only his son was dead, but the first male of everything. If it was the first male roach born in your house, it died. When he woke up, it was much, much death in Egypt. It's a precept on that. I forget where it is. But it talks about all the carnage that they woke up to. And finally, Pharaoh had got the goddamn message that the Lord wasn't playing, much like what we're experiencing right now with this coronavirus. All right, go ahead, Adayala.
Come, both ye and the children of Israel, and go serve the Lord as ye have
Man,
said.
go serve your Lord now. Go do it now. I give. Go ahead.
Also take your flocks.
You free. Go ahead.
Also take your flocks and your herds, as ye have said, and be gone.
Man, take everything that belonged to you, man, and just go. Go ahead.
And bless me also. And the Egyptians were urgent upon the people that they might send them out of the land in haste.
Man, get up out of here, man, before somebody else die.
God, sir.
Go ahead.
For they said, we be all dead men.
We be all dead, man, if y'all don't get out of here with the quickness. Go ahead.
And the people took their dough before it was leavened.
And they took their dough before it was what?
Before it was leavened.
Meaning what? That's right. So now they got bread that they're taking. That's flat, man. I don't know if you ever had. Well, we had it, and that bread is not tasty at all. Keep going.
And the people took their dough before it was leavened, their kneading troughs, being bound up in their clothes upon their shoulders.
Keep going.
And the children of Israel did according to the word of Moses. And they borrowed of the Egyptians jewels of silver.
Now go to the verse where you were about to read, where they was eating that flat bread, and where they were complaining. That's the one I want now, where they complained about the flat bread. They was mad as hell about eating that damn flat bread. And a lot of them, believe it or not, it's kind of heavy that you bring up this, you ask this question, because a lot of us, if the Lord was to come right now and tell us to start walking to Mexico, I'm just hypothetically, just get up, all Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people that's in this land, man, just start walking to Mexico, and trust in me, and along the way, you're gonna be cared for, right? Black people gonna complain about that shit after 2-3 days. They're gonna complain because ain't no running water. They gotta eat this mush from heaven. You know what I'm saying? This farina that ain't got no sugar in it. This manna from heaven. No sugar in it, it's just mush. You know what I mean? You got to dig a hole to use the bathroom in. Our women gonna be beating our ass with complaints, and they gonna be like, man, take me back to the east side. You know what I'm saying? Get me back to the east side of Detroit, man. I'm done with this right here, right? That's what will happen. Go ahead, Natazar.
Come on, concert, and that's so heavy. If I could backtrack with the fact that it took people to start dying before Pharaoh actually gave in. Like that seems to be the last result before everybody learned.
Talking about with this damn monster that we up under.
Come on, concert.
People got to die.
People got to die. Like even in a sense, our people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because like they always trying to skate by and see how far they can get before they it's time to straighten up. But like even again with the Pharaoh, man, he was like, damn, what else do I have to lose?
That's
well,
right.
My life is next. So.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Go ahead, Zarak.
Piggyback on that point, sir. That's like, could I compare that to today's time where a lot of people complain about this coronavirus?
Yeah, absolutely.
That they complain about being in a house and they bored out of their minds and they like, I'm ready to go back outside. I'm ready to, you know what I'm saying? I'm ready to go back to work. I'm ready to go to the club again.
I'm ready to go back to slavery. Go ahead.
You niggas need to hurry up and stay in the house.
Right. And some of them, if you've seen some of the Detroit videos, some of them not even staying in the house. They still passing blunts at the gas station where a man got shot at. Did you see that? Like right up the block. Yeah. Right up the block from here is about maybe 80 of them or so or whatever, gathered together, smoking blunts, drinking behind each other, talking about ain't no coronavirus here. Meanwhile, Detroit is the epicenter, one of the hot spots for the coronavirus. So to your point, man, nobody listen until grandma dying. Because you might be able to survive it, but you're going to go home and hug and kiss on grandma. And shit, next week she going to be dead. And you the one gave her the coronavirus. Do we have anything else on that?
Lies. You ready to get to that topic?
Yeah, let's I thought I had another thing that I asked for in this one right here, where they actually started complaining. I want to read that part right there where they actually started complaining about eating that flat bread. Because the Lord didn't deliver you out of the hands of a tyrant that was killing your babies. Just like now, man, we suffer from 500,000, 100,000, I should say, abortions every year. But black people, man, would want to come back to this place. Believe abortion is a right and not murder. Just like they believed, just like the Christians believe that the Lord said you can eat anything. They also believe that the Lord said you can kill your baby if you want to. That's in the Christian church. But that's what Pharaoh did, man. Pharaoh was murdering your kids. Now, modern America create the same conditions, right, under which black people would willingly give up their children. He create those same conditions, and black people just follow right behind that shit like it's a right, as opposed to a condition created to make you believe you're better off without your children. When really your children is quintessential to you coming out of hell. If it wasn't for Roe v. Wade, man, shit, we would be another 20, 30, 40 million strong in America. Anybody get that? If not, we're going to move on. That's the one I want. About the flat bread and all of that, about this bitter herbs and these flat bread they complained about. So like I would ask a question, because lately in the news, you see it's a lot of Hispanic, or black people in particular. Judites is dying of this coronavirus, man, at an alarming rate. You know, much more so than you know, even on the police force. More black people is dying of the coronavirus in these institutions that work for these institutions and inside these institutions than anybody on the earth. Than anybody, man. Who got a precept? That's the one for the give me that one.
This is Numbers 11:4. One day some and in the mixed multitude that was among them fell a lusting, and the children of Israel also wept again and said, "Who shall give us flesh to eat?"
It came a what? That's a hell of a precept, and I gotta put that in my arsenal right there because I forgot that's what that said. And read it again from the top.
Numbers 11:4. And the mixed multitude that was among them fell a lusting.
It fell a what?
A lusting.
Now people think lust is always about what? About sex. Damn, she got a fat on her. We always talking about lust is about some fat backside. You know what I'm saying? But really, it's about you wanting to please your flesh over what the Lord has prescribed for you. That's what lust really is in the Bible. Read it one more time and then continue on.
In the mixed multitude that was among them fell a lusting, and the children of Israel also wept again.
They cried again. Go ahead.
And said, "Who shall give us flesh?
Who shall give us what?
Flesh to eat."
They tired of this mush. They eating manna from heaven, man. The Lord is feeding them, man, angel food. It ain't got no salt in it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't got no hell of a taste to it, but it's enough. It's the nutrients that you need to sustain life. Until what? You can get into the promised land. Right. Until you can go and establish your own, man. The Lord got something big planned for you. But right now, man, be content with this right here. Be content with this joint right here. They like, hell no, I want some. Who gonna give us meat? Right. Keep going.
We remember the fish.
We remember what?
The fish.
Like they over there in Pharaoh land, man, the river Nile, they fishing every day. Keep going.
We remember the fish, which we did eat in Egypt freely.
Oh my God, man. The river Nile, man, just feeding them all the goddamn time. They over there fishing every damn day, and they ate freely of it. Keep going.
The cucumbers.
The what?
The cucumbers.
Oh, man, the cucumbers was bountiful over there. Keep going.
And the melons.
Go ahead.
And the leeks.
Oh, go ahead.
And the onions.
And they lusting for these things again, man. Keep going.
And the garlic.
Go ahead.
But now our soul is dried away.
Oh, now we got nothing. Keep going.
There is nothing at all beside this manna.
This what?
This manna.
Man, think about how disrespectful that shit is right there, man. All we got is this mush from the Lord. You know what I'm saying? This manna, this angel food. Man, I don't even, I'm lost for words on that one, man. All we eating is angel food? That's all we got? Keep going. This manna. All we got is this mush from the Lord. Keep going.
There is nothing at all beside this manna before our eyes. And the manna was considered, and the manna was a, what is this? Corandir seed?
Or
the color.
It's describing what it is in something unpleasant that they didn't like. We can look that up if you want to. Go ahead.
If I may, sir, manna, when the Webster Dictionary, food miraculously supplied to the Israelites in a journey through the wilderness, divinely supplied spiritual nourishment.
No, that's a Webster. You should have went to the Zondervan's. But the Lord is describing it right there. Look up that thing that He just named. That we stumbled pronouncing. Not manna. Coran. Spell it one more time.
So it says C-O-R-N-D-E-R. When I look it up, it says, also got it in Webster Dictionary.
The Zondervan? Go ahead, read the Zondervan. Let me hear what it says.
Khan say we in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, page 342. Manna, a special food provided for the Hebrews during the Exodus from Egypt. Just what it was puzzled naturalists for ages. It came at night resembling hoar frost coming with the dew, and may have collected in new dewdrops.
Well, whatever the hell it was, the Israelites did not want to eat it. It was not tasty, man. It was not like the cucumbers and the onions and the fish that they was eating in Egypt. Now think about the messages, though. The message in this breakdown is they lusted for the things that their slave master had provided for them to sustain their life, and also to appease them. You know what I mean? To make, like, you have certain of us that believe because we got a nice car and a house that somehow we are better off than the rest of us. Not realizing that we all goddamn slaves.
Right.
So a lot of them wanted to get back to that place that the slave master had made for them because it was comfortable. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like you other niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like some of us, man, that manna and going over to the promised land was a come up. You know what I'm saying? It was a come up. So they lusted, man, to be back in slavery, man, and the Lord dealt with them eventually. That lust compounded, and he wound up dealing with them, and then they repented, etc. But at the end result was nobody who left Egypt made it except the children. And who else? And Aaron, right? One priest. Joshua and Caleb, Slaki.
If I could, I got
Go ahead,
a brief description of what they was eating.
please.
Is Numbers 11 and 8, and the people went about and gathered it and ground it in mills,
Yeah,
or beat it in a mortar.
right, and the mortars. Pistol and mortars, like this thing where I've been complaining about missing. Go ahead.
And baked it in pans.
Ugh, this is some mush. They didn't, like, it's some mush with no taste to it and something. Ugh, go ahead.
And made cakes of it. And the taste of it was as the taste of fresh oil.
Oh my goodness, man. They eating oil cakes. Right, when they was they were enjoying fish and cucumbers and onions and garlic, man. And everything else, man, that sprouted up out the ground, man, as a vegetable. And not just the fish, but they had cattle over there as well. So they complained, and also you had to know that they complained about their, how they went to the bathroom and other things. You know what I'm saying? So, what would you rather have? That temporary inconvenience of coming out of this hell, which we're going to experience. We're going back to the goddamn plow, and we're going to plant corn and wheat and barley the same way we did it way back in the day. We're going to live in the agriculture society for a period of time. You know what I'm saying? We're going back to that. And some of us going to want this lifestyle back again, man. All right, was that it? No questions online? All right, most high in Christ. Scroll up, make sure there's none in there. All right, I got a question for everybody, man. Go to Isaiah 30 and verse 1. Read that for me. My question is, why is it that, like, you turn on the news right now, and I think a couple of us, our wives are workers in the healthcare industry right now, right? And I'm sure she's reporting back to you that the people that's on those ventilators are black people. Primarily, the people that's on the ventilators at my wife's slavery, one of my rib slavery, is primarily black people, man. You know, and then the mortality rate is high among black people compared to all other nations. right? It was a study. It was a news article that I happened upon that detailed why black people are suffering right now, but it's twofold, all right? And in this article, it said that, and actually one of the guys at my job experienced this. He was off work for 2 weeks. He called exhibiting the signs of the coronavirus. And they told him, just lay down, you know what I mean? Just lay down. You don't have the fever. You don't have a high enough fever for it to be the coronavirus. That's what the healthcare workers. Fine for me, black people, look it up on the internet. It's a news article out there that details why black people are dying more so than any other nationality from the coronavirus. And it has to do with the same treatment that we have always experienced in America, dealing with not just housing or police, but also in the healthcare field. You go to the doctor and complain about a certain thing, right? They tend to send you home while they would admit your white counterpart. You got that article? Please find me that article.
I'm getting it. I know what you're talking about. That Dr. OC, it was saying that black people don't have the same connect with healthcare as other people.
Right, but it's related to the coronavirus, though.
Right.
Well, it's not just the connection. It's listen, they detailed the fact that we live, the way we live, right, because of the conditions that they created, right, we live at a certain level below their standards. And because we live at that level, we are more susceptible to diseases and cancer and hypertension because we don't have the adequate healthcare system supporting us as they do. Right? So the reason, and it's twofold. The Lord said this would happen to you, for one. Right? That he would get so high and you would be low as hell, man. Because you did not serve the Lord with gladness of heart. Right? That's number one. But just to showcase the evil of this monster that we are under, that we love, that we would fight like hell to get back to, if the Lord told us to start marching up out of this place. We'll be complaining about that goddamn manna that he sent to us to sustain our life for that temporary period of time, and want to come back here and deal with this monster that will not give us the same benefit of the doubt as he would give a white person knocking on the hospital door saying, please help me, I got a fever. You got it? Read it for me if you could, Hebrew.
Khan, we are in. It's like we are at the New York Times, if I may. All right. New York City's racial disparities in death is similar to that in other parts of the state, but it's actually less pronounced in other states.
Go ahead.
In Chicago, for example, black people account for 72% of virus-related fatalities.
Listen to that.
Even
72% of virus-related fatalities. 70, meaning like out of 100 people, right? Out of 100 people that has the thing, 72 of them are going to die, and those 72 going to be black people. Out of 100 people that die, 72 of them is black people, man. And like I'm telling you, it's twofold. The Lord told you what would happen, of course, in the book of Deuteronomy. But he also said that the people that you're going to be up under are going to use you like a footstool, man. You know what I mean? Like, they're not going to regard you even as a human being. Like you know, up until like 50, 60 years ago, we were considered like 3/5 of a man.
Good night.
And why would you give 3/5 of a man the benefits that you would give a whole human being?
Right.
They put these clauses in the law in order to do what they're doing to us right now. Why in the world should they give you niggas the same benefit as they give their white counterparts? You know why they shouldn't? And why it's absolutely right that they shouldn't? Because you ain't in your kingdom, man. This is not your rest.
That's right.
In your own stupid ass mind, you believe that this is the place that you should be enjoying and loving and embracing and partying in and doing all of these fucking dumbass challenges in and shit.
Right.
That's in your dumbass mind. But the Lord said, man, over here, man, you're gonna suffer being up under this man. Give me Read it Isaiah 30, then we're going to go back to that article and read some more, because I know it's a heavy-ass article. I read it and was like, God damn. Right, go ahead, read Isaiah 30 and 1.
Book of Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 1. Woe to the rebellious
Now,
children.
what does that mean, woe? Who knows? What does woe mean, man? Young man.
Destruction.
That's correct, man. Woe means destruction. Destruction to the rebellious children. Keep going.
Kanawakan, saith the Lord, that take counsel,
That does what?
that take counsel,
Meaning what? They get their advice. They seek the understanding of, the covering of. You know what I'm saying? The ways of, right? Woe unto the rebellious children that take counsel. Go ahead.
but not of me.
But not of the Most High. The Lord told you, man, that pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster was not clean, and that under no circumstances shall you eat it. But when you hear certain scriptures, you automatically follow your lust, your desire to feed your flesh, and therefore you become a what's the correct word to use, man? Because you follow your lust and you disregard the law, statutes, and commandments, you become a reproach to the Lord. That's the correct word. You become a reproach. Woe meaning destruction unto the rebellious children that take counsel, but not of me. Go ahead.
And that cover with the covering,
And what does that mean? That cover with a covering. Go ahead, Zarok.
that protection that they use it.
Okay, I want that, but that a covering is, it's like, God bless America. You know, my country 'tis of thee. All of that shit right there. You know, where you say in your heart that that America is the greatest and none can contend with her. Right? That ain't what the Lord said. The Lord didn't tell you to join these other nations. Matter of fact, he told you to separate from them. So when you cover yourself with the laws, not saying that you shouldn't obey the law, but they shouldn't be a part of the inside, your interior. You should know that, you know, you stop at that goddamn stop line because that stoplight because the Lord told you to. Esau put up a goddamn stop sign. The Lord said stop at it. You don't stop at that damn stop sign because you just love the white man so goddamn much like, you know, a lot of us in this country just love the ways of the heathen, man. Keep going.
Kanawakan. But not of my spirit.
So you take a covering, right? You take on the customs, you take on the attributes of another thing, but that is not the spirit of the Lord. So destruction upon you. Woe unto the rebellious children. Those that we speak to every single goddamn day, man. That we got, you know, people all over the country, all over the world trying to speak to and trying to permeate, you know, this hard ass head on Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people. Woe unto them that rebel against, you know, like brothers promised that they'd be here today. Reported that they'd be here today. They're not here. It's something else, and of course it's Satan for one, but it's something else that they lusted for above coming and learning today, being a part of what we do. And the Lord said, woe, meaning destruction unto them. Keep going.
Kanawakan. That they may add sin to sin.
Hold on, that they may do what?
Add sin to sin.
Meaning you compounding your sin. Now go back to the article.
Kanawakan. We're back in the article. In Chicago, for example, black people account for 72% of virus-related fatalities.
Now, 72% of virus-related fatalities. And that's just not talking about the coronavirus. Talking about the flu. You know what I mean? You go to the doctor. I mean, I had to go the fuck off one time because I know, you know how you used to get the little pink stuff for your kids? When they had the little, y'all, it's like your parents know what I'm talking about. Used to go and they had all of the information and they give you that pink stuff, the little pink syrup or whatever they took for that lung infection that they had. I went and they refused to give it, so I went to 2 other doctors until I got that stuff. And guess what? As soon as she took it, the same damn day, she cleared up. They're treating you different than they treat white people, man. They're not giving you the same medications. They're experimenting on your ass on a greater level, and you just don't realize it. Let's withhold these medications from black people and see how they respond to it. And then we'll know how much or how little to give white people. Where your ass is going into the doctor just trusting everybody. I go see 2 or 3 of them, man, until I know what the hell going on with me. Go ahead, Dr. Zahn.
So like this, sir, and to piggyback on what you're saying, let's see how long it takes for them to die.
Exactly.
So we can see how long we can prolong this.
Let's see how
the
long.
medicine.
Let's see how long it takes for them to do what?
To die, sir.
Right. That's what they want to do. They want to see how long can black people survive this coronavirus. They've been experimenting on us, man, since the Tuskegee Institute. Even before then, man. It's a sister, man, that they used her uterus, I forget her name, to make all sorts of pharmaceuticals right now. They're still using this sister's uterus to prescribe medications for everybody in the goddamn earth. To this day, you can look her up online, and they just not paying her family for the medications that they produce from pulling her uterus apart. You know what I mean, and testing her system and developing these drugs. They've been using us as guinea pigs. So the first and foremost, the Lord said, man, yeah, these people gonna get up so high, you're gonna be down so low, and because you didn't. Hold on to the law, statutes, and commandments with gladness of heart. You know what I mean? Be appreciative of what I've done for you, man. You're going to suffer. Go ahead, Zarok.
Wakan, sir. Even though they make up a little less than a third of the population.
That's disgusting right there. You 72% of the deaths, but you make up a third. I mean, Slaki, you 72%. Slaki, you a third of the population. Meaning you, out of 3, you just 1. But you make up 2/3 of the deaths. You make up more than 2/3 of the goddamn deaths. But you only 1/3 of the population. In America, I think it's 30-something million black people in here. And then another thing I want to address, why would they tell black people initially when this thing came out that only white people can get the disease? If you was a white supremacist wanting to kill black people and you had the propaganda like the social media to use as a basis to push your lies out there, where black people see certain things, man, and hear certain things, they automatically believe it. Oh, it's goddamn 5G towers. Or black people can't get this thing, only white people dying from it, right? Why would they say that? So your dumb ass can go out there and get it and bring it home. And grandma and grandpa and your baby's sick. You should know, based on what we've broke down since 1969, that the diseases that's in the earth. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and verse, what is it? Is it 32 I'm looking for? Is it 32 or 48? One.
Lord says the one's not even named yet.
Kind. You can give me that one as well. But give me a Deuteronomy 28 and let's start at 32. So why is it that, out of all of these people in the earth, man, that your ass is dying from it the most?
We're in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand. Verse 33, the fruit of thy labor, it's like the fruit of thy land, and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always.
And you shall be only oppressed and crushed always. What was that, 32?
That was 33, sir.
33. It's one in there that says, you know the one I'm talking about?
That's about plagues.
Give me the one you got.
Hold on, sir. Deuteronomy 28, verse 59. Then the Lord will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed even great plagues.
What verse is that?
The 59th verse.
Okay. Keep going.
And of long continuance, and sore sickness, and of long continuance. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt.
Right, Khan. So, and the reason he's doing this is because you are not obeying the laws, statutes, and commandments. Keep going.
Which thou which thou was afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. Also every sickness and every plague, which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Lord bring unto thee, until thou be destroyed.
So you look for the things that strike the earth in regards to plagues and destruction. Look for black people, Hispanic people, Native Indian people to suffer. You remember what just happened in, see, we ain't looking at it like this right here. What just happened in Puerto Rico, right? You see how the Lord just went through there with all them goddamn hurricanes and tornadoes and damn earthquakes and all of that shit. Like he visited the nations. What happened in Haiti, you know what I'm saying? And look for the nations that of the 12 tribes. Look for those that have not been so afflicted thus far to certainly suffer in the future. Hold on one second. Shalom, Cap. Yahweh Shem Jeffrey, sir. Come on, Khan, sir. Khan, sir. You say one more time, Slocky. Khan, sir. Kill us. Oh, Khan. Khan, not the one Khan. Yeah. Yeah. Khan, sir. Thought I appreciate that, sir. Lord Christ. That was Captain Quad, man. He added a heavy point to what we were just bringing out. In that, what do you think going to happen when they realize that us niggas is the ones that's breathing that death on everybody? What they gonna want to do? Go ahead, knock this out.
Quarantine.
They gonna want to get us the fuck up out of here. Good night. They gonna want us up out of here, man. You see what I'm saying? Like these like I was in you know, I'm on some health food shit right now, man. Vegan almost damn near for about a week of my life, right? And I was in the grocery store and I'm telling you, man, they gave, and I don't wear no mask, no goddamn wear.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they gave me like, instead of like 6 feet around me, I had like 12 feet. It's like everywhere I went, I go down one aisle, motherfuckers is turning around, going the other way. No joke. They turning around. I go to one lane. I don't care about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think about it. Say again?
Were you geared up, sir?
Oh, yeah. You know, I had on my what I got on right now. Come. And they turning around, man. So what Captain Marquardt just said, man, is absolutely heavy. That eventually, and I was looking at some scriptures to support actually what he just told me. Like the scripture says it's gonna be a fire and a flame in us, man, and we gonna devour everybody else. So you niggas could be the carriers of this shit. You know what I'm saying? You could be the ones that's carrying it, and everybody that get in your midst, man, you breathe that shit on and they die. So they gonna want to quarantine you niggas in a minute. You know what I'm saying? So, the water cap, I appreciate that, sir. Where were you at? You was at Isaiah what? Did we finish at Isaiah 30 out? Con, give me that. Did we finish that Deuteronomy out, Salakia?
Come.
Yeah, give me the rest of that article though.
I got a precept for that. Isaiah 30, sir.
Con, give me the article first, and then we get that precept.
Khan. Mr. Kumo said on Wednesday that some of the difference could be attributed to poor people having more untreated chronic health problems than more of affluent individuals, making them more likely to die if they contract the virus.
Meaning what? Like, because we don't have the same access to health care. Much like we don't have the same opportunity at jobs or education or housing, right? Because because the healthcare system is so biased against black people, we are naturally a host or a breeding ground for all of these diseases. You see what I'm saying? Some coronavirus, man, get in the air, black person inhale that. Next thing you know, everybody in his family got it. And then everybody in her school got it, or his school got it, or his slavery got it as black people. And we tend to work around each other more so than we work around everybody else, right? So this doctor is saying because of the disparity in the healthcare system as it relates to caring for black people, they of course are going to be the ones that catch it and contract it and die from it, more so than anybody else. But the rate, man, is just astronomical, right? To be such a minority in the population, meaning only 30 plus million of us compared to 300 million of us, right? To be such a small percentage of the population, but dying of this thing, man, you got to look at this like it is some beyond the scope of just some flu-like symptom or something that we, that's not targeting black people is the word that I want to use. This thing is targeting black people, and I believe my personal belief, and I ain't teaching this, but my personal belief is that if you're full of cigarettes, marijuana, if you're full of whores, right? If you're full of drug abuse, right? If you're full of anything that the Lord told you was unclean for you, you're going to be one of the ones that die from it. While the rest of us, again, this is a personal belief, I think I'm a goddamn carrier, man. I definitely believe I'm a carrier. I've often complained to y'all about what? Respiratory infections that I used to get. Now I don't get them no more, man. I don't get that shit no more since I dropped all of them abominations. You know what I'm saying? Slakia. I wanted to go from there to, did we finish that in Deuteronomy? All right, give me the one in, you had some precepts that I had you to write down, right? Which one have we not brought out yet?
The one in John, Ezekiel, Daniel.
Give me John real quick.
John 14:12.
What time we at, brother? 6:50. We got 10 minutes. Let's bring these out real quick, yo. We're gonna zip through these precepts. If y'all want to add to them real quickly, go ahead.
This is John chapter 14, verse 12. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do shall not, Salakia. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do shall he
Slakia,
do
that's,
also.
That's not the one that I wanted. I wanted the one in, what was the other one you said? You had one in what? Was it Galatians?
I didn't write down the Galatians one, Salakia, sir. But I had one that was in Matthew, Ezekiel, and I had something.
Give me Matthew, Slakia. I think it was Matthew I wanted.
Matthew 7:13.
Matthew 7 and 13. You got it? Go ahead. Speaking to the mic.
The book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 13. Enter ye at the straight gate.
So in that, based on what I just said, the whole purpose of the Lord sending these signs, man, sifting the nations, man, sifting the children of Israel, is for you to straighten your act up right now. Like Commander General Yohana mentioned, right now, everybody, if you're a black, Hispanic, and Native Indian person, you should be sin-free. You shouldn't be doing shit right now that's violating the law, statutes, and commandments. You should be so afraid, if you're an Israelite, to do anything against the Lord, man. And there's only one way to please the Most High. Read it one more time.
Matthew chapter 7, verse 13. Enter ye at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is
So
the
why is
way.
it saying that? Enter ye in the straight gate. For wide is what?
For wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction.
Meaning, you got so many opportunities, man, to destroy yourself right now. You got like the path is wide and broad, right? In terms of how many things that you can pick from right now in the earth today that was going to lead to your destruction as an Israelite. You could smoke cigarettes, weed. You could pop holes. You could hate your brother is one thing. You could just think about all the things that we used to do in the world, man. Embracing any of those things right now is the elements that's going to lead to entering into that broad path that is destruction in the corridor. Read it one more time.
Matthew chapter 7, verse 13. Enter ye at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction.
So it's saying enter ye into the straight gate, for broad is the what? Read it one more time.
For broad is the way that leadeth to destruction,
Broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. Keep going.
and many there be which go in thereat.
And many of us, man, like what we seeing right now with the brothers and sisters and how they responded to this plague that the Lord didn't put in the earth. You see what I'm saying? They totally ignored it, blamed it on 5G. When the Lord said he the one that's responsible for the things that transpire on the earth that leads to death and these plagues. It's his responsibility. But we want to chalk it up to 5G. Keep going.
Verse 14. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life.
For straight is the gate, and narrow is the way that lead unto life. What does that mean right there? Think about if like right in front of me was my entrance into the kingdom of heaven, right? But just if I veered off just a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right, those are on the left of it and the right of it are big gaping holes, man, and many, many opportunities to transgress the Lord and find myself into a destructive way. On either side of that straight path, I could go right or left and find myself in absolute destruction. Over here is all the drugs that I used to love to take. The pills and the weed and the women, right? And then over here, all the hate that I had in my heart. Rob that nigga. Who the fuck is this nigga right here, man? Who's them niggas over there, man? Let's rob his house. You see what I'm saying? Let's kill him, right? Both of those, man, like you can go further and expand on everything I just said, left or right of that straight path. So and unless you keep your eye on the prize and keep walking that straight path, you will venture off, man, and find yourself in a destructive way, where everything you're doing is to support that destructive way. You see what I'm saying? Where you compound sin. Like, you ever heard back in the day where it say like one lie lead to another? You remember that? Like, you got to lie to keep the damn lie. You see what I'm saying? You got to sin. If you sinning, you got to sin again to keep that sin hidden. You see what I'm saying? If you want to do something outside of this truth, you're going to have to do a whole lot of other things to keep that thing, slock it, just to keep that thing. You know what I'm saying? If you smoking weed, you're going to have to lie about it. You're going to have to prophesy against yourself right here. And I've done it before, Salakia. When I was a young man saying that I wasn't smoking no weed, I'm sitting up here like, damn, I hope nobody say nothing about no weed right now today. See what I'm saying? Brothers smoking cigarettes, you know, and all sorts of things that you have to help brothers out with, you know, when they come into the truth and claim to be something that they really have not, you know, developed into. You know what I mean? But the most important thing is to stay on that straight and narrow path that leads to your salvation. Read it one more time. Con, you can if you want to read it. Read where you left off at. Read above where you left off at, I should say.
Because straight is the gate. Because Matthew chapter 7 verse 14. Because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life.
Straight is the gate and narrow is the way to lead unto life. Anything outside of that, brothers and sisters, is goddamn death. Keep going.
And few there be that find it.
And how many?
Few.
And how many?
Few.
Few there be that find it. Few. Was that it?
Concept.
With that, I'll turn the class over to priests and officers of the Rock for the reading of the security announcements. Clap it up for the Lord, y'all.
ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, star out of 1 West, 125th Street out of Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They ought to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. They need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if the brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3 and 8 through 10, means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Up and coming Holy Convocation, we got the Lord's Passover coming up. You want to stay in touch with your camp leaders for more info. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headbands, and scarf. And with that being said, I'd like to give a courtesy salute to the teacher, men of Israel, Imajim, Majim Shabbat, Imajim, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatah, Yajimata, dismissed.